not bad.
Which I bet you who you don't have on here is George Clooney.
You'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised.
I got to take a piss.
Bradley Cooper.
Oh my God, I got to take a
George
piss.
Clooney.
Give me a second, guys. I'm sorry.
In the absence of Mario, we can just vote all these people wherever we want. That's right. Bradley Cooper, he's a 1. Fuck that guy. Fuck Bradley Cooper. Now the cameras are lining up like they should.
Yes.
Yeah. I should text Pops and say what's up.
Right? Did you text him?
How's everything going with you? So what's
I'm deciding in between trying to stay with this job
and go to Rock Sushi.
Or I should say I'm trying to think between going to Sushi Roku for 72 a year. So they sent me an offer and I already signed it for 72. But
72,000?
Yeah, that's a salary position, first salary position ever if I wanted to do it. But I'm going to be working like 50, 60 hours a week. Most likely like 55, 50 hours a week.
Yeah, but upgrades, dude. Think about that cash.
There's the thing is it's actually less than what I'm making now. So I make more hourly as a server than I do hourly if I was to take this position. So
if you're calculating 60 hours a week. Right.
For sure. Yeah. Exactly. For sure. So just hourly, just pure hourly. So let's say if I work 32 hours a week as a server, that would be about $5.60, just $18.65 an hour, right? So that's just my regular hourly. For sure, on an 8-hour shift, working 32 hours a week, I'm going to make at least $800. There's no way I'm not going to walk away with less than $800 because
on how many shifts?
Doesn't even matter. It could be 5 6-hour shifts or 4 8-hour shifts. 30 to 32 hours a week, I'm going to for sure make $800 between 4 to 5 shifts. There's no way I've never not made that much. So that's on the low end. On the high end, I can make $500 a shift as a server and tips. So for sure, I'm walking away with $800 for 32 hours. So that ends up being $74,000 a year, 26 weeks. So I'm making more money, or at least for sure as much money as a part-time server as I would as a working overtime sushi person.
So but it doesn't look good on a resume.
So the question is, there's a question is,
what would your new position be at this place?
Manager. So I'd be managing a team.
Yeah,
one other manager, and then I have a overhead manager who's an executive manager who manages Sushi Roku and the next door partnered restaurant Boa Steakhouse. And so these are all under IDG, Innovative Dining Group.
But I thought you already agreed to do it, right?
I've already signed a contract, but doesn't mean you can't. I mean, you can
bail. You're gonna bail like that
if the money's right and if it makes sense. So for me, what I realized is I honestly didn't do the math right. When he offered $72,000, I divided up in my head between 24 weeks. Because I'm thinking the amount 72 divided by 12 divided by 2, because essentially you get paid twice a month, and that times 12 equals how much you get paid a year. Nope, you get paid 26 times a year because there's 26 weeks in a year, not 24. We get paid 26 pay periods in a year. So 72 divided by 26 is significantly less. It's $300 less on every paycheck than what I thought it would be. So that's me making that. What's that?
Will you get benefits?
Yeah,
not included benefits. It's benefits you can pay for. So it's like, yes, they have available insurance that you can take out pre-tax, which is nice. So at least you're able to pay off that insurance, and then you get taxed on the remainder of your money that you're making. So that's kind of a little benefit. But I haven't had insurance anyways. And my real attack, or my real decision making is, one, do I play the long haul, trying to become the GM, trying to resume build, trying to pursue this career path, which is essentially being a general manager of a fine dining environment.
You'd be a manager for like the evening or whatever shift you take, like one.
Yeah, they're only open for dinner service. Sushi Roku.
How many other managers would there be?
Just one. It's just me and one other manager.
Oh, one other one.
One other manager, and then an executive manager who manages this place plus the Boa across the street, and then like 2 places in Manhattan.
Where is Andrew in this?
Andrew's the other manager.
Oh, cool.
But also the GM is also named Andrew. So it's Andrew Yin and Andrew Ha. So Andrew Ha is the general manager, and Andrew, who just goes by Drew. And then
there's an executive guy that's over
That's Andrew Ha.
So he's over both restaurants.
Yeah, he's over like 5
for IGM.
restaurants. Yeah. And then above him is the director, Seth. And so that's who I've met with Andrew. I've met with both Andrews, and I've met with Seth.
The question is, do you want to take on this new? Yeah.
Do I want to take on this new trajectory?
It's the Sims,
that's gonna, that's going to force me.
Yeah,
that's going to force me down this path. Yeah. But I realize what is that doing? Is it's forcing me to give up almost 4 things. So it's forcing me to give up one, obviously my job with the Irwin. It's forcing me to give up time that I would spend with Lauren. It forced me to give up time that I spend towards writing my book and my music. So it's forcing me to give up 4 things for one thing. And it's making the same amount of money right now that I would make.
This is your
that
own
I'm already making.
This is your calculation of the market. The market of Irwin,
it's calculating
and
value.
The rooftop.
Value of time.
Because if another fucking storm of months of time comes through and the rooftop is closed, you're not going to make the same amount as you projected. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or even if you got a heat wave or where like it's so hot out that nobody wants to be on the rooftop, you lose money.
No. But yeah, the cold thing. Yeah.
So you know what I've done?
Regardless.
Just might help. You know what I've done when I like hit certain things I really don't know the answer to? I try to characterize it and say, hey, tell yourself what advice you give somebody else having that thing.
I already know the answer.
Oh, well, there you go.
The answer is I got to do what I love. And
be with the woman.
No, it comes down to my craft. What's my career? My career is not general managing. So like if I was to become a general manager,
so you're going to turn down the job?
It would be gaining financial income in order to write my book, in order to get more music out and have more time with my girl. But if I can already have that with the job I have, and so my approach now is I spoke to the acting manager of Irwin, who's Dee Dee, who's essentially she's essentially the top manager because we don't have a GM and we don't have a director. So I told her, I already gave her my 2 weeks and I gave our HR my 2 weeks. And long story long is I told Dee Dee in an email that, hey, if you're able to get me on full-time serving, because right now I'm part-time server, but if they give me a contract for full-time server, 32 hours a week guaranteed, then I'll come on and stay with you guys as the server. Right. Because then that means
Do you think they want you there that much? Like,
she said in the letter, I gave my 2 weeks and I wasn't even thinking about that because I'd already signed and I was ready to go. And then she's like replied with, oh, well, we're going to miss you and please let us know if there's anything we can do to keep you here because we really appreciate you and we, like your services. So let us know.
Standard manager respond.
I mean, maybe not in your case. You were a fucking dickhole to that guy that was on the phone the other day. Where that guy was like talking shit to you, and you like chewed him out on the phone and said, "Go fuck yourself."
If you were a guy that got drunk every time you were at the Irwin serving, you would get the same treatment. But because you're in a different caliber,
exactly,
you're a different caliber than the person I fired. So those are 2 different spectrums.
Man,
I don't use that.
After being out the last couple of dates, good service is hard to find. Like some
hells yeah.
That part.
Oh my god.
So that being said, is I think they know my quality, and I think they would. And so the first thing I said to them was because Ty, the HR, you want me to read it? You want me to read it real quick?
No, I don't want to hear
Mario
it.
Doesn't
Just paraphrase.
Mario doesn't. Paraphrase.
Bradley's a 3. He's solid 3.
Yeah, I agree. 3. Let's go with 3.
Probably I'll give him a 3.
Okay.
So
I think he's on his path.
So 5. Long story long is I told her like, hey, I originally said, hey, I would stay on as the GM or the director because I've already applied for those positions and I told HR, so I'm waiting for those interviews that she said she might be able to get me with the GM of the hotel. And Brendan Fraser, 3 for sure.
Really?
I'll give him a 3.
I like a 4 because I like the Mummy.
I'll give him 3.
All right, 3.
It's one movie.
I told him essentially, or her essentially, that I would come back on and be a full-time server if I got full-time. So if I get full-time, I am going to go back.
32 plus hours.
32 plus hours because that would make me
at least
solid 4, almost a 5, solid 4.
Yeah, almost a 5.
So that's
good, man. I hope you get it.
That's where I'm at with my job.
I hope you get whatever you.